And we're on.
We
This
are
is
live.
live. We're live and direct.
And direct. Don't forget the direct.
Live and direct, actually. So, Devout, the Oscars are, what are they? Yeah, they're going to be on tomorrow. No,
Yeah, the
tonight.
Oscars are happening right now. Well, not right now, but soon.
Yeah,
Depending on when you
exactly.
listen to it, the Oscars have happened.
They've happened.
The
So, all
Oscars
right,
have
let's do
happened.
this then. Let's do this. Let's see what you reckon is going to win the best film.
I think best film is going to be The Year of the Dog. Got a funny feeling about that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. No.
Best.
I think it's better
So,
actually.
Power of the Dog.
Power, that's it. The Year of the Dog. Yeah, Power of the Dog. I think like King Richard might get a look as well. He might get a little look. I think Don't Look Up. Andy Mackay, was it Adam Mackay film.
Adam McKay. Yeah, yeah.
Adam Mackay, yeah, that might get something as well. There's another film I'm not thinking of. Sorry, no,
Is
Belfast. That's it.
Belfast.
Sorry, Belfast. I think it's going to
Belfast.
get
Yeah,
Belfast is the one I
yeah.
think is going to get some attention for sure.
Exactly. And we're going to speak about a movie in our hidden gem section, which is Coda. And that's obviously been nominated as well. And
Okay.
obviously there's screenplay. Oh, it's been nominated for screenplay. But
Mm,
there's an actor in that movie.
mm.
He recently won the BAFTA. Oh, he's the first deaf actor to be nominated for an Oscar,
Is
but he
it?
also won the BAFTA as well. So he may walk away with something, but we'll come to that in a moment. But listen, folks, you're listening to episode 182. We are the Flixters, and Deval and I are going to be bringing
Yep.
you movie news and film reviews, and we're going to be talking, doing our usual stuff. So we hope you enjoy the show. And yeah, let's take it away. So Deval, what we're doing first?
Yeah, quick shout outs this week. First one goes out to Kate, and she loves our podcast. She says she listens to it all the time. She likes the movies that we do, that we review. She liked, I think she liked Spencer. I think she said, and she's looking forward to the next Harry Potter film. What's it called? Dumbledore. All those ones.
Yeah, I know which one.
Fantastic
Yeah.
Beasts and all that. I actually don't like those films. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So
No, I know. It's not everyone's cup of tea.
but I did see one of the Dumbledore Fantastic Beasts films that Johnny Depp was in. This is a
Yeah.
while ago. It wasn't too bad. Had a really good start, but the ending kind of lost me. But either way, yeah, Kate's really looking forward to that one. So maybe when it comes out, we'll do it just for Kate. Next shout out
Exactly.
goes to the Man United Agenda. So this is a podcast on YouTube that really talk about football or soccer
Yep.
if you're from America, and they talk about Manchester United, and they, if you like that sort of thing, go check out their page. And then the last shout out goes to Cinema 9 podcast. They
Yes.
gave us a shout out on YouTube. They said they really like our energy. Hope you guys like our energy as well. And yeah, they've got a great podcast as well that also talk about movies. So go show them some love on YouTube as well. So yeah, those are the shout outs. And one quick mention about our competition. There's still 30 days left worth of Disney Plus.
You
You can
got
get that.
to.
Yeah, you can get that free login. All you need to do is write us a review, notify us about that review so we can see it, and then we'll send you those logins so you can enjoy Disney Plus because Moon Knight is coming out real soon, and you're going to want to go and watch that on Disney Plus. So get that going.
Seriously, I don't know what you're waiting for.
Get it
All right,
happening,
let's
man.
do some movie news now. Devaldo, Gojira. This came out. When did that? Did we watch that last year? Didn't we? Godzilla versus Kong.
Was it last year, 2021? It might have been.
Oh my!
The past 2 years have blended into one, so I think it was
Seriously, so
2021.
long.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, listen, check this out. I thought that was going to be it, but then I thought to myself, actually, no, they're not going to stop, obviously, that cash cow because they do relatively well at the box office and everyone loves a monster movie. But a sequel to Godzilla versus Kong is set to start shooting in Australia later this year. So, yeah, so
Australia's getting a
basically,
lot of love, you know. Are they doing some sort of tax exemptions or?
yes.
Oh, is it?
It's the tax thing, and also it's the fact that, especially like in the state that where I am in Queensland,
Mm,
yeah, COVID did affect a lot of kind of like areas over here, but compared to obviously the UK, America, and everywhere else, came out relatively unscathed.
okay.
And there were a lot of kind of productions. Remember, I think they filmed. What did they
Love and
do?
Thunder is down there.
Love and Thunder.
Was it one of the Ryan Reynolds films? I can't remember which one it is. I think was filmed down there. Quite a
Um,
few films actually. Yeah.
yeah, they did Mortal Kombat over here, and like
Yes.
a lot of production. Oh, and Didn't they do the Matrix? Wasn't that around here as well somewhere? I
Matrix
think.
One, yeah. I don't know if the new one was. I'm not sure, but I
Yeah.
know Matrix One was. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Mm,
so there's, we're going to get to see kind of like another Godzilla versus Kong. Now, whether or not that's a good thing,
mm.
that's up for debate. But check this out. So, this is going to be the fifth installment in the MonsterVerse franchise. And can you remember how it all ended? I can't even remember. Kong
Oh,
got bit slapped, and then what happened in the end?
they had a fight like throughout the film, and the
Yeah,
last third of the film, they went against the Mecha Godzilla, like the machine Godzilla, and they both, I guess, teamed
that
up to
was
fight
it.
that one. So I guess the enemy of the enemy is my friend, I think is the saying.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
sort of, they had to beat this other one, and then they went off in their own directions and did their own thing.
Did their own thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, check this out. It took 468 million worldwide. And I
Mm.
didn't know this. It broke HBO Max's viewing records
Is it?
um, during its first 5 days on the streamer. So
Oh.
clearly, Warner Brothers, they're thinking, right, okay, let's do another one. So if you're a fan of Godzilla, fan of King Kong, watch this space. Now, let's
Mm.
speak about this other big thing. You just mentioned Thor, Deval.
Yep.
There's a release date.
Oh.
Thor 4 is going to be hitting our screens on the 7th of July.
Mm. Okay.
Now, here's the thing.
Oh no.
That is the release date for Australia. I don't know about the UK and rest
Oh
of wherever.
gosh. Well, we should get it
So
similar time as you guys. I mean, come on, you've got like how many hours ahead of us? Let us get something.
yeah, so it says Thor: Love and Thunder will be released in Australian theaters on the 7th of July 2022. And just to kind of
Mm.
recap, Chris Hemsworth, obviously, Tessa
Yeah.
Thompson, Natalie Portman, Chris Pratt, Jamie Alexander, Pom Clementieff,
Mm.
Dave Bautista, Karen Gillan, Sean Gunn, Jeff Goldblum, and
Right.
Vin Diesel as Groot.
But hold on, that's
So
that's pretty much Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah, that is
It's going
it.
to be like a
And
Guardians of the
obviously,
Galaxy and Thor mixed together. That's
yes, so
decent.
this will be Guardians of the Galaxy, what, 2.5, won't it?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
something.
yeah. And don't forget, we
And
got
obviously
Gore the
Christian
God
Bale.
Butcher. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kristen Bell, Gore the God Butcher, who is a mad, mad character in Marvel. He's got the Necro Sword, which stems from the Venom sort of, the symbiotes world.
Yeah.
So that Necro Sword is like a liquid that can,
Oh,
solidify and can basically, kill people. So yeah, when Gore the God Butcher comes into it, it's gonna be crazy. Honestly, he's a
mad.
mad, mad character. But he's also one of those characters that he's doing it for a reason because he's been wronged himself. So
Yeah.
he's going to want to take out people that he feel have wronged him and his family. So he's got that kind of that kind of anti-hero stroke villain
Yeah.
kind of what the word is, that battle, that conflict within his mentality and his drive. So that'll make him an interesting villain, I think. Hopefully,
Yeah. Yeah, it's great when we get a villain like who's just not one dimensional. Like there's
yeah.
different sides to it. So Thanos was a great villain in my opinion. So we'll see how Christian Bale fares, and yeah, so that's going to be coming out pretty soon. And I'm give it let the buzz of Moon Knight kind of die down, and
Mm.
then Multiverse and the Madness, and we'll
Oh
get to see like a trailer or something.
gosh, oh, that's going to be good.
Multiverse Devour.
That's going to be good. Really good. Really, really good.
Exactly. All right, listen. Speaking about Moon Knight, what's happening with this? Because the showrunner of that show has been talking, right?
Yeah, so Moon Knight is coming out literally, like, it's pretty much out now by the time you're listening to this show.
Yeah.
And the actual showrunners of Moonlight. Did you know the showrunners of Moonlight actually? Oh my gosh, I actually had that up a second ago. But do you remember there was a film I watched called, what was it called? It was called, what's the name? The name of it was The Endless. The Endless is a film that was like a sci-fi film with these
Yeah.
people out it's in America, and they were out in like the sort
In
of,
the
I
in
don't
the
know,
woods.
yeah, in the woods. Yeah, exactly. They were in the woods, and they could like go from one place to the next almost by
It was
teleporting.
like a
They were in
cult, wasn't it, or something?
exactly. They're like a cult, and they had their own sort of dome or sort of locations, and they could. It was a weird film, but it's an interesting
Yeah.
film. But the makers of that are also Synchronic. They also made Synchronic as well, so they like their sci-fi. So those directors and producers are also behind Moon Knight.
Oh,
I
wicked.
didn't realize that. But
Yeah.
then these guys are also being tipped to actually, uh, produce Nova from the
Yeah.
Nova Corps. Nova is a
Wicked.
character. What's his name? Richard Ryder, I want to say.
Richard
And
Riley? No, Riley.
no, Ryder. Richard Ryder, I think he's called.
Oh, sorry, sorry. Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
But the Nova, because we saw the Nova Corps, didn't we, in Guardians?
yes, exactly. But we didn't see the Nova Supreme,
The
like the real
right,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah,
Nova like warrior, which
yeah.
he's like a gangster character. He's like he goes out. He kind of reminds me of Captain Marvel in the way his
Right,
energy and his suits kind of works. But
yeah,
basically, these showrunners, let me tell you who their names are actually. So one's called Justin Benson, and the other one is called Aaron Moorhead. They really like their sci-fi and all that kind of stuff.
yep,
So Moon Knight should be decent. Also, on Moon Knight, another showrunner called Mohammed Diab. It's good to see that Marvel got on an actual Egyptian person to be part of the show.
yes.
Wicked,
That
authenticity.
is exactly. And
Mm.
he was out. He was being interviewed just recently, and he said, "Look, he had a bit of a criticism towards Wonder Woman."
Because she's going to play Cleopatra, or is it?
No, because remember in Wonder Woman 1984,
Mm.
they go to
Egypt.
Egypt, right?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
And he was like he kind of took a he was a bit annoyed. He was a bit grumpy with the way that they depict it, and it was kind of like the Hollywoodized version of
Yes,
Egypt.
yes,
So
yes,
they
yes, yeah,
brought on an authentic voice to
yeah,
show,
yeah, yeah,
like this
yeah.
guy. What is Khonshu? Is it Khonshu? No, I'm gonna.
Who? The moon god?
Yeah, is it Khonshu?
I don't know. I can't remember. But the
I don't
person,
know
the actual god that takes over
what. Spectre.
Spectre, Mark Spectre. It's a name that kind of sounds that way. I think it's. We'll find out. We'll find out during the show, and I'll just interrupt you and let you know. But yeah, it's a
Exactly.
moon. It's a
Yeah.
moon god. It's definitely a moon god. Anyway. Mm.
Yeah, 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 definitely. And so that's interesting. And yeah, so the other news that we want to kind of mention is about this deleted scene. Now, I've been reading about this and I kind of saw a still of it. But yes, the Batman had contained a longer scene between the Batman and the Joker. Or well, actually, we don't know his name was the Joker, was it?
It was Conchu, by the way. I just double checked, but yeah, it is the Joker. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is the Joker. They don't actually make that known in the credits or in the film,
Mm,
but it is the Joker. And you're right. This deleted scene is like an interrogation scene. Not similar, but I guess they're kind of leaning on the flavor of the Dark Knight's
yeah.
interrogation scene of the Joker. And it's really dark. It's really they know each other. He even says, "Oh, it's a 1 year anniversary," and that's paper, isn't it? I think the gift you give is a paper gift. Don't know if that's
Yeah.
true, but Batman gives him some papers and gives him the case of the Riddler, who he's trying to obviously find out who he is, and
Yeah.
tries to get the Joker's help. But it's a decent scene, but I can understand why they left it out because I don't think you need to
Yeah.
bring the Joker in so much. It's too
Kind of
soon.
tease it just a little bit, right? So
Mm,
that thing that we got at the end was enough, I
yeah, I
reckon.
think so.
You
I
know,
think so.
the guy. I always get his name. I pronounce his name, but the guy who
Keon,
plays that, that's it. He was um he was an Eternal.
Eternals, and also Killing of a Sacred Deer. Remember that good
Yes,
film? That's a really
with
good hidden gem
Colin
with,
Farrell.
again, Colin Farrell, Nicole Kidman, and that's when children are killed.
Yes.
And yeah, this guy, I can't remember his first name. His surname is Keo. Uh, I want to say Bill Keo, but it's not probably Bill.
Nah, it's not
But
Martin, is it? Nah.
I don't think so. No, but yeah, it's definitely he is a weird character, and he does weird really, really well, really,
And the
really well.
makeup, the little bit that you do see of his face
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Batman, like at the
Mm.
end, man, you just know he's got some twisted face. I reckon he's going to be a good. Yeah, I reckon he's going to be a good Joker. So we'll see what happens with that one. Whether or not he gets out for the Batman Part Two, we don't know. But listen, folks, we will keep you posted. Now let's
Barry Keon, or
Barry. That's
Keegan.
it.
Mm.
Keegan. That is it. That is it. Right. Okay. Let's do a new one
Yeah.
streaming, Deval.
Mm.
Now, it's been a while since we've had any Bridgerton news, and I know we spoke about
Mm.
this before, but Bridgerton season 2.
Yeah,
Tell us about this one, because a lot of people were really, really into Bridgerton the first season. This was quite popular for Netflix.
it's one of the highest watched shows on Netflix.
Wow.
I think one of the reasons is because at the time it came out, it was lockdown. It was the first lockdown, 2020.
Yeah.
Christmas, I think. Yeah, Christmas time it came out. So we'd all been stuck at home. Christmas time as well. You get good figures during Christmas for Netflix shows, and people loved it. It was Shonda Rhimes, who's done Scandal, who's done How to Get Away with
Yeah.
Murder. She's done what's that the hospital show, Grey's Anatomy. Sorry, Grey's
Yeah.
Anatomy. So
Inventing
she's
Anna just recently.
there you go, inventing Anna. So she's really like American TV royalty. She's brought this show diversity. It's traditional, as in the royalty aspect of it and all that kind of jazz. But people loved it. Uh,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Reggae Jean Page, who was the main star of the first series, didn't come back for the second series. So it's not going to have the
I wonder
same.
why that was.
I think it was Do Re Mi. I think it was Do Re
Okay.
Mi. But it's not going to be the same cast. But I understand from what I've heard. I've not seen the first season, but I know people that have, and they said it's really good. This season's going to be different, but just as good as just as good as the first one. So let's see if the figures reflect that.
Yeah, 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 exactly. I'll be honest with you. I didn't jump on board the Bridgerton
Mm,
train. If I'm being honest, I think Shondaland. I think she's brilliant. How to Get Away with Murder,
mm.
Inventing Anna, and stuff. Those are great shows. I just don't think this is my cup of tea, Deval.
No, not me too. This is definitely the Earl Grey, you tea.
Exactly. Give it a few more years, and maybe we can check it out for you folks. But
Yeah,
if you do see it, if you do kind of, and especially listeners, across the pond, if you do watch this show, let us know. Please get in touch with us on Instagram, write a
mm,
review, and we'll read it out on the show. All right, let's do new trailers. Now, we haven't really spoken about horror films. We haven't done horror movie review in a while, but Deval's going to be getting onto that in a bit. But listen,
yeah.
there's a new trailer out, which is kind of a bit horrific. Um, Now, some people might not know this name, but in England, in Great Britain, the name Jimmy Savile is kind of really well known. And this
Yeah.
guy was kind of like, the face of children's TV on Saturdays. I remember we used to watch the Jimmy
Mm,
Savile show, like, Jim will fix it,
yep.
all the time, man, all the time. And, he was the face of children's TV, like he was there.
Mm,
This guy with like, white hair and like he fix it for kids and whatnot. Now, for so many years, unbeknownst to us, this guy was doing some crazy shit, man, behind the scenes. And there's, allegations of abuse. There's, sexual abuse. There's kind of like, mistreating of people and all this sort of stuff, right? So
mm.
really, really sick stuff. And this documentary, Deval, what is it called again?
This is called literally the clues in the name. It's called Jimmy Savile, a British horror story. And for many people,
Oh,
just like you've outlined, it was a horror story. Young people that were already vulnerable, were taken advantage of, sexually abused, and all kinds of abuse, really. And they
yeah,
were powerless. Many of the accusations, unfortunately, came out later. I believe many of them came out after he passed away. Am I right
yeah,
in saying that? I think so.
yes,
He didn't really get he didn't get the punishment that he should have. I'm sure he's being punished wherever he is now, but he didn't get to face these crimes while he was
yeah.
alive. So yeah, but this case ran on for months and years. Many people have come out and spoken about it. So this documentary again will, I guess, outline that and show the extent of his crimes. So yeah, this is on Netflix real soon.
Oh man, listen, I'm definitely gonna watch that because yeah, it just kind of gives you a slice of kind of that, that childhood. Like, whilst we were watching this guy,
Mm,
like on TV, like, with his cigar as well and all that sort of stuff.
mm,
But it's
mm,
just like shit behind the scenes. What
mm.
this guy was doing is just like madness. So yeah, so definitely go check that out. And we'll be watching it and we'll obviously review it. So yeah, we'll keep you posted on that one. Now let's go on to Anniversary Corner. We've chosen a specific movie from a specific film director because it relates to a movie
Yeah.
that we're going to be speaking about afterwards. But this is Transformers and
Robots
Devout.
in disguise.
I remember the hype
Mm.
surrounding this movie. There was big hype
Yeah.
because Transformers, obviously with the cartoon, the toys and everything, people were like,
Mm.
oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, they're bringing the cartoon to the big screen. They're bringing the toys and everything like that, right? So it was a big deal.
Mm.
Michael Bay.
Mm.
Now, did he direct it and did he produce it, or did he just produce it?
Directed, from what I
He
understand.
directed, yeah.
Mm.
Introduce us to Shia LaBeouf,
Yeah.
Megan Fox, and gives us the whole kind of backstory. There's a backstory to kind of the All Spark and everything, and
Mm.
why the Transformers come to the Earth, and there's this whole thing and how it's connected to Shia LaBeouf, and it kind of gives a great introduction to that whole universe.
Yeah.
Subsequent movies didn't fare so well, Deval.
No, I think part two might have been. I think part two was decent. Part three kind of went downhill. Then they've made two more. Was it three more? I can't keep up, but the rest haven't been
Yeah,
that good. You're right. When you're a child and you've watched Transformers all your childhood, and then the movie comes out,
yeah,
it does something to your mind, and people went crazy. I still think part one it holds up quite well.
yeah.
You
That's
know,
the best
the
one out of the lot.
graphics they look really good. The interaction with the robots and
Yeah.
obviously Michael Bay. Also, we've got to mention Peter Cullen was the original voice actor, I think,
Voice.
for
Yeah.
Optimus Prime, and they used him for Optimus Prime, and I think they used what's his name from Lord of the Rings, and Mr. Smith for Megatron.
Oh, yes.
What's his name? His name escapes me, but Agent Smith,
Agent
and
Smith.
then the one from Lord of the Rings as well, the elf. I think they used his
Oh,
voice for Megatron, so it was
yeah.
really, really well, done. But Michael Bay, what he's. We'll talk about Michael Bay in a second, but yeah, it's just some of the acting in this was a bit not the acting, but more the interaction because some of the
Yeah.
like Shia LaBeouf will get knocked around by a transformer and you get up. You don't do
And
that.
just dust himself off.
Exactly, you don't do that. You don't get hit by a metal thing, fly across and get up. So
Yeah.
that's just his film. So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
20 was it? No, 15 years ago, still holds up well. So go give it a watch. Go give
Yeah.
Transformers a watch if you like it.
I liked his whole thing about, the nerd, like kind of trying to
Mm,
get Megan Fox and everything like that. All that kind of stuff was like really,
yeah,
really cool. So, yeah, it's decent. Out of the franchise, it's definitely the one to go for. And then you watch Bumblebee, forget the rest.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
Anniversary Corner. Now, yeah, it fits in kind of with one of the movies that we're going to be speaking about, which is coming up. But before that, let's do this movie. Let's speak about this now. This is X is an A24 movie, isn't it?
yep.
Yeah. So Deval and I have spoken about A24, this kind of this movie house, this production company,
Hmm.
and they are behind some really great films. The list is endless. We won't bore you with that. So Deval, set this up for us. This movie is called X, and yeah. So take it away, man.
Yeah, so X is a horror film. It's set in a really good year, 1979. I wonder why.
I wonder
Uh,
why, Deval.
so it's set in the past, and it's about a film crew who they rent out a old couple's sort of derelict barn, not derelict, but unused barn, and like a house that they've got, on their farm.
Yeah.
They rent it out, so they use this to film a porn movie. That's why it's called X, I guess. So
Mm.
this is the time when porn started to really boom. So
Yeah.
they're making a porn film. They haven't told the actual homeowner what film they're making. If they're making a porn film, that's the reason why they're there. But the house has got the man. He's quite elderly. I'd say he's 70 maybe. He's got the man, and then they've got his wife. His wife is at home. She's bedbound. She looks really, really ill. Don't know what's wrong with her, but she just seems really ill. So that's it. Those two, and then you got people there making a porn film. Crazy.
Crazy.
But obviously, we all know what happens in horror films. Someone's got to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so bit by bit, it's like as they're making a porn film, the old lady kind of comes out of her bed and she sees what they do. She sees what they're doing. She's taking a peek, and it just becomes really weird. Like
Yeah.
it sort of comes out that she wants to get jiggy too. You know.
This is hilarious.
She wants to get jiggy too, but It's like she can't because her husband can't do it anymore. He's like mad old, and he says to her, you know, I can't do it. You, you know, I can't do it. My heart,
My
no
heart
joke.
can't take.
He says, you know, I can't do it. Yeah, you know, I can't. So, he feels bad or whatever. But bit by bit, anyway, I'm kind of going round in circles. But
Yeah,
you see a few sex scenes and stuff. Horror films. You know how it does.
yeah.
And yeah, something. What happened again? So the man goes shopping somewhere. He leaves for a while, and then one of the young people that are in the film go into the house, start chatting to the old lady, and it just gets really weird. Gets really, really weird. And the old lady's like, "Oh yeah, you young people, you got everything. I wish I had it. You got everything. You don't even use it right." And she's like, "Well, we're young. What are we supposed to do?" She's jealous.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, bit by bit. Anyway, long story short, the old lady somehow turns into a killer and starts
Oh
going around
shit.
killing people in the maddest ways, like mad ways. Like one person gets their eye poked out, another person gets eaten by an
Oh
alligator
shit.
because they've got like a little river near them, so an alligator eats one person. And then the husband gets involved, and I don't know. I don't even know why they're killing people. Yeah? If I was a man, I'll just sit there with my popcorn and watch the porn film, a
And
live
watch the
porn film.
porn.
How are you complaining?
Exactly.
But yeah, it's like
Oh
killing
my
people one
gosh.
by one. It's shot really well. It really looks like an old film. It looks like a 1979 film. Everyone's got their
Yeah,
fair faucet feathers and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it's a fun film. It's not a great film, I wouldn't say, but it's a fun film, and it's A24, so it's a bit, it's a bit edgy and stuff like
A
that.
bit
So
off kilter. Yeah.
yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's an hour and a half. You're not gonna, it's not too long. But yeah, I think if you want a horror film that's a bit different and a bit weird and a bit, there's a few funny bits in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you wanna give this
You
one a
know what?
watch.
It kind of reminds me. You know those the slasher movies from
Mm,
like kind of like the 80s, where the
yeah,
scene where the college kids, they would go off into the pool, strip their
yep,
clothes off or go into the
yep,
pool, and then they just get stabbed up.
yeah,
So one of the trope there is like it's this kind of this idea that kids going off having sex is kind of
mm,
like
yeah,
gets you into trouble. So it kind of does remind you of that, plays into that whole kind of thing over there. But the idea of Granny, like Granny Smith, being the serial killer is just like makes me laugh.
mate,
Um,
mad,
are
mad.
there any? Are there any? Kind of like famous actors in this, or is it kind of like is it young blood?
No, no, it's all yeah. No one I recognised. I'm
Yeah.
sure now I've seen them. I probably see them a bit more, but no one I recognise in this. I could say no.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Look, if you want to kind of like forget all the the buzz around the Oscars and watch something bloody and sexy, then go check out X
Mhm.
at your local cinema. Now, we alluded to Michael Bay before, obviously Transformers, etc. And he's Michael Bay's done loads of other stuff. Um, but you know what? Yeah, come to think of it, I haven't seen a Michael Bay film in recent times. I don't think, unless he's produced something that I just don't know. He's been behind
Michael
something.
Bay, Michael Bay, Michael Bay. Uh,
What's he done recent? Has he done anything recently?
I'm sure he has. He done. Yeah, what was it? The Ryan Reynolds film, Underground Six or something like that, on
Oh
Netflix.
yes, on
Yeah, that
Netflix. You're
one. Yeah,
right. Yeah, he did that one.
yeah,
So listen, he's still making movies, and
yeah.
he's behind this latest movie that Deval went out and watched, and this is called Ambulance. So,
Ambulance.
so Deval, set this up for us. Who does it star, and what's going on in this movie? Because I saw the
Yeah,
trailer, and it does look actually decent. But I mean,
it's
I'll
interesting.
leave you up to
Yeah.
your judgment.
So yeah, this one stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Yahya Abdul Mateen, who we've seen recently in. What did we see him in? We saw him in Matrix. He was Morpheus,
Yes,
wasn't he? He's been in
Morpheus.
the Watchmen TV show. Seen him in Us. Yeah, so he's in it. Yeah, Aitha Gonzalez. She's in it. She was
Oh,
in Baby Driver,
and she was in Underground Six.
Underground Six. There you go. And I care a lot. King Kong. Sorry, Godzilla versus King Kong. King Kong.
Yeah.
Uh, and also it's got a few other people. So you got what's his name? Yes, yeah. I won't mention the rest, but it's got a few other people. But yeah, they're the main stars basically. This film is about Yahya Abdul Mateen's character, who is a military vet. He's left the military. His life hasn't improved since leaving the military. He's found it hard to get a job, all that kind of stuff. You know, his wife has got I think a 1 year old, or even less than 1 year old. Got a baby. They're struggling. She's actually got cancer, so he's
Mm,
trying to get money to give her some experimental treatment, and he can't raise the money. Got no money,
mm.
so he's under mad pressure. Now his brother, Jake Gyllenhaal, yes, I said brother. They grew up together. They were really tight, so they called each other brothers.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal on the other side has lived a different life. His dad was a big time bank robber, and he's gone down that life. He does shady shit, and he's got like money, so he goes to him for a loan. Jake Gyllenhaal says, "I got no money. All my money's tied up in stocks," as they always say. I understand that now, though, but
Yeah. Trust
but
me.
yeah. So Jake Gyllenhaal now says to him, "But I got a job, and I need one more man, just by chance, one more man." So
Mm.
then Yahya Abdul Mateen's character joins them to rob a bank where they're going to get £32 million between like a team of
Oof.
about eight people. Obviously, shit doesn't go right. The bank job gets screwed up, and it goes mad. As they're trying to escape, they come across Ida Gonzalez's character, who's an ambulance driver, who's one of the best ambulance, not driver, sorry, ambulance paramedic. She's
Yeah.
one of the best in LA. This is in LA basically. And they basically hijack her ambulance to get out of the situation because the police are surrounding it. And the most of the story is them in the ambulance, also with a cop that they shot who's in the ambulance that she's trying to save his life, and they're running
Oh,
around getting chased by the police. It's crazy. That's the whole premise of the film. So you've got Jake Gyllenhaal, Yahya Abdul Mateen's character, Arthur Gonzalez in the ambulance trying to save this rookie cop, and they're getting chased by police, FBI, everybody, you know,
yeah.
and it's crazy, mad action. It is literally a rubber stamp of a Michael Bay film. You know, he
Is
loves
it?
these sweeping,
Yep.
sweeping. I tell you, on this in this film, I think he used 70% of drones for this
Oh,
because the amount of
okay.
sweeping shots you see is crazy. You see the camera
Yeah.
sweeping through bullet holes, the camera sweeping through a door, the camera goes over a building and goes down. You can get nausea. The camera doesn't stand still. There's not a moment where
Oh.
the camera's still. Even if you're walking 2 meters, it's a it is.
He loves
It's.
it.
He loves it. This one's over. This one, I've never seen a film where he's used it so much. It is overdrive. It's crazy.
Oh,
And
shit. Yeah.
the comedy, I think, was some of it was misplaced. Some of it was funny. Don't get me wrong, but some of it was misplaced. There's mad shit happening. Serious
So what
shit.
the comedy between what Abdul and Jake
Everyone's
Gyllenhaal?
comedy, not just between
Oh,
them
okay.
two. Everyone wants to throw a line in or two. Everyone, it's mad.
Mm,
But
mm.
you sort of just, it's like Transformers and and Cops. It's like all these comedy bits. All his signatures basically are in this. This is
Right,
a
right,
Michael Bay
right,
film, literally.
right. Okay.
Even the way they talk, the way they deliver, it's literally. It could have been Will Smith. It could have been Martin Lawrence. It was Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul Mateen. Don't get me wrong. It's not a shit film. We enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but I'm just telling you what it is. It's definitely a Michael Bay film. It's very swoosh kind of thing,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and it
He,
comes
and
to
he
the
has that, and he has that unique kind of like look, right? You know, the like you said, those, and it comes from like does remind me of,
yeah.
well, he was behind. Did you remember the movie The Rock with Nicolas Cage?
The Rock. They mentioned the Rock in the film. They mentioned the Rock. They mentioned Bad Boys.
Well, there you
Uh,
go.
they mentioned it in the film. His films. I didn't
Yeah.
realize this, but he had his beginnings were all music videos. Tina Turner, all these rocks. Yeah, so
Oh,
that's his beginning. That's what he done before he became a movie director. So if you think of Tina Turner's videos, all them glamorous ones, sweeping, and all
yes.
them rock ballads and stuff like
That's
that, he
Michael Bay.
yeah, he directed a lot of them. He was in the film as well. Michael Bay was in the film. He didn't have a speaking
Oh,
role. He was one of the cops with the guns. He did kick down a few doors and let off a few shots, but I don't think he spoke. But I was like, oh
right.
shit, that's Michael Bay.
That's Michael Bay. Yeah.
He started to do it M Night Shyamalan, But
Exactly. He's
uh,
been behind he's been behind the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies as well, I think.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There you go.
So what do we think of? Jake Gyllenhaal as this kind of action superstar because
Yeah,
he he can pull it off, right? He
he
can do
can.
the dramatic stuff and he can do the action stuff as well.
Yeah, this one he reminded me exactly of Mysterio.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
He was Mysterio. He was unhinged. He was suave. He was sophisticated. He was all
Yeah.
of that. He was literally Mysterio in this film. He
Wow.
shouted, and he went crazy and he let off shots at certain people.
Yeah.
He was relentless. So just like Mysterio. Abdul Yahya
Okay.
Mateen, he was cool. He came across a bit more subdued, a bit more caring, but at the same time, he's willing to do what he needs to do to get it done because his wife, she's
Yeah.
got cancer, she's dying, so he's willing to, you know, crack a few eggs to
Yeah. Yeah.
make this
Yeah.
omelette.
And the
So,
actual bank heist, Duval,
mm,
in terms of kind of tension, are we talking? Because man, I love a good bank heist movie. So we've got movies like
mm,
obviously like Heat,
yeah,
The Town. Do you remember Ben Affleck's movie The
yeah,
Town?
yeah. This one here didn't focus so much on the heist. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to give
Yeah.
away too much as well, but the heist was done in a different way. It was still done,
Right.
but just in a different way. There's a lot of shooting.
Okay.
Den of Thieves. You know how the guns sounded on that?
Yes.
Yeah, it
Yes.
sounded kind of like that. They had some serious gunplay in this one.
Some
Serious
serious
gun,
firepower.
yeah, serious
Okay.
firepower.
All
So
right.
I'm
Well,
not
there you
could
go,
probably give it a
folks.
6 or 7 maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, decent film. It's just came out, so it's fresh. Go watch it in the cinema. Something different. Not always Marvel every
Yeah.
day, So go
And
watch it.
this is what we need. We need
Mm,
this. We need kind of like um, we need the Michael Bays, and obviously,
yeah.
yeah, you might get kind of like movies that are a bit formulaic, but
Mm,
sometimes you need to have that, and like you said, just not get the comic book movie stories. All right, okay, so go check that one out. That's called Ambulance. And if you do watch it again, let us know so that we can speak about it, maybe write a review and let us know what you thought about it. All right, okay.
yeah.
We are going to do a hidden gem, and we
Mm,
haven't done a hidden gem in such a long time.
yeah.
So this is yeah, I think this is a great hidden gem movie, and I
Mm,
really really hope people go out and watch this. And when I say go out and watch this, you can catch this on Apple Plus. So if you've got
oh,
an Apple Plus subscription,
got one
you've
now.
had
Okay.
yeah, people have had the ability to watch the movie since I think it's like September, October time or
Oh
something like that,
wow.
right?
Okay.
So this movie that I'm going to speak about is called Coda, and Coda stands for child or children of deaf adults, and
Ah,
it's this independent. Well, first of all, it's a remake of a French film
mm,
which came out in 2014, and that movie did really well in
mm,
France, and it was
mm.
like a really big hit, and it won loads of awards. And the producers of that movie were kind of after that movie came out, they were like, "Hey, listen, look, we want to do a remake of this. We want to do an English language version." So they started pretty much around about 2015, 2016 working on it, and lo and behold, you know, fast forward to 2021, it was released at the Sundance Film Festival. It kind of got a standing ovation. It did really well, and it sits at
Wow.
8.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's good, That is good.
Yeah. So as
Um,
soon as this movie came out, the buzz was like really, really like kind of good. It's been nominated for several Oscars in categories there. It's won a BAFTA already for Troy Costo, I think his name is. He's kind of like one of the supporting actors in this. It stars in the movie Emily Jones. Now, Emily Jones, Deval, do you remember this? All I'm going to say is this. I'm going to try and sing this. Do you
oh my
remember?
gosh.
We're walking in the
No.
air.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. The Snowman's. No, hold
The
on. Is it
Snowman.
The Snowman song. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember the boy who sang that song?
Yeah.
Alid Jones.
Oh, is that his daughter or something?
That's the lead actress in this movie is his daughter, and
Is
her name is
it?
Amelia Jones. And when I
Oh
was
my
reading about it, I was like,
gosh.
oh my gosh, the Snowman. Do you remember that story from the
Mm,
80s? We would watch that over Christmas time and whatnot, and like, whatever.
mm,
So yeah, so British actress Amelia Jones, she plays Ruby, and she is a child. She's the child of the deaf adults, and she's got she lives this really kind of interesting, strange lifestyle where she's 17 years old. She has to go to college, but at the same time, she helps her deaf parent
Mm.
and her brother. Um, she's basically a fisher person. She goes out 3 o'clock in the morning,
Wow.
helps her family go out and fish, and they haul in fish every morning. And then she goes
Mm.
to school, and she's, since the age of, like, like probably about 4 or 5 years old, she's been the family's interpreter. That's all she's ever done. She's basically, their voice. And she's exhausted, she's tired, and like you can see that with the kind of the relationship that she has with her parents, and she loves her parents a lot, but it's
Mm.
very, very frustrating. And so so she we kind of see that side to her, the frustration. She signs up for choir lessons because she's kind of interested in this boy, and she has this dream of becoming a singer. So she has to kind of manage this kind of life of wanting to be a singer, but at the same time being the support, being the voice
Mm.
for her family. And I'm telling you, man, it is a really, really beautifully made movie, and it's
Mm.
kind of like heartfelt. It's this kind of coming of age, comedy drama. It's got comedy in it, but it's also this drama about
Mm.
how she she doesn't have a voice because she's always interpreting for her family. So her kind of emotions and her voice get kind of
Mm.
like pushed underground, and it has been for years and years and years. But then slowly, slowly, through the singing that she does at school, and through this kind of relationship that's blossoming with another kind of classmate of hers, she begins to find a voice. And there's a great natural conclusion to the movie, and this great heartfelt moment between her and her parents. She has to do an audition to get accepted into this big music school. And I'm telling you, man, I was kind of really, really pleasantly surprised because it's a movie that came out of nowhere. I didn't
Mm.
really know much about it, but half of the movie is is kind of like in sign language. And
Mm.
watching a
Okay.
movie like that where people are just signing, it kind of draws you into the movie, like, unlike, you wouldn't get that, for example, if you're watching a Michael Bay movie. Let's kind of like,
You're
let's
having a
kind of like,
laugh.
yeah.
Mhm.
So you kind of, you spend the time to kind of actually, you know l- when I say listening, you're actually reading what the people are, how they're feeling and everything. So I thought it was amazingly shot. I thought it is, it's set in Massachusetts, and it's kind of like real location. They filmed in,
Mm.
with real fishermen. They're going
Okay.
out, they're catching the fish all the time and everything every morning. So it kind of has that small fish town kind of like feel to it as well. So yeah, man. So in terms of kind of Oscar buzz, it has got a lot of Oscar buzz.
Yeah.
Um, one of the, like I said before, the supporting actors, he plays the dad who's deaf. He's already won a BAFTA. He's been nominated for an Oscar. I mean, I reckon he
That's good.
could. I reckon he could get it because it's a really powerful performance.
Mm.
And if you got the chance to watch it, I would definitely watch it because it's definitely worth watching
Mm.
a movie like this when you have kind of like a movie like Ambulance, and when you have kind of like these other
Yeah.
big budget movies. This is kind of a bit low key, and
Mm. And it's
um,
good for,
you know,
I think also, I mean, just it being a good film in general, but also just the added fact that, the equality side of things as well, because we obviously
yeah,
know we live in a diverse world. People come from different backgrounds and different, abilities and so on. So seeing a film where they really, look at that and celebrate and highlight it and not see it as a negative. I mean, we
yeah,
saw that the lady in Eternals, she's been in The Walking Dead. She's also deaf as well.
yes,
So it's good to see these things blending into mainstream platforms, and sooner or later, people can just operate within the same space as everyone else without having to be, I guess, sectioned off into just certain types of films
yeah.
or arenas,
That's a really good point that you just made, and it got me thinking about something. Do you remember when Parasite won the
Mm,
Oscar for kind of best film? And remember that whole thing about, oh, if you get away from the subtitles, there's going to be some amazing kind of movies out there. And then Nomadland won because it was the first Asian woman to win kind of like so now it's kind of
Chloe
like,
Zhao.
Yeah, Chloe Zhao. So now we've got kind of like, this section of society, this, deaf performers and obviously deaf people, like, we can't forget about them as well. Let's make movies for them as well. So it kind of highlights that whole thing. So 100%, I reckon it's definitely got a good shout out to win an award. The cast are brilliant. And it's got some really good singing. The songs that they picked, right, are really good as well, man. And when you listen to the lyrics throughout the movie, you're like, shit, you just forget how good these songs are. And they pick some really good songs. So from my end, it's a great thumbs up.
Okay.
I would give it a good 7 or 8 out of 10.
Okay.
And it's worth a watch. So yeah, if you can track it down, do it.
We'll do, man. Well, so that's on Apple Plus, you said, yeah?
That is on
TV.
Apple Plus.
Okay,
on Apple TV, yeah. So
cool. Right.
and then we'll obviously we'll do a recap and see which of the stuff won next week.
Yeah, definitely. And next week we've also got Michael Morbius. So we've got Morbius out next week. So I'll watch that and let you guys know. So, my gosh, double M, Moon Knight and Morbius. Oof.
Exactly. So keep it locked with the Flixters, folks. We've got more coming for you this year.
Yeah, defo. Well, until then, peace.
And we're on. This is live. We're live and direct.
And direct.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.